Inside this ballroom at the Washington Hilton, 2,600 of the most powerful people in America gathered for a formal dinner. The guest list included the former president, cabinet members, and hundreds of top-tier journalists. The perimeter was secured. The Secret Service was in place. But right outside that secure bubble, a man with a duffel bag found a quiet spot. He unzipped his luggage, pulled out a dismantled firearm, and began systematically putting it back together. You might get back to the profile of a known radical or a violent extremist. Cole Thomas Allen was a 31-year-old engineer. He graduated from Caltech, earned a master's degree, designed custom wheelchairs, and won Teacher of the Month. His peers considered him brilliant. Exactly 10 minutes before he walked toward the ballroom with his weapon, Allen hit send on an email to his family. It was a 1,052-word document outlining exactly what he was about to do, fully expecting to end the night either dead or in handcuffs. Allen traded spontaneous rage for academic precision, drafting a methodical operational plan that nearly bypassed the highest levels of presidential security. In his final letter, Allen laid out a motive rooted in political anger. He wrote that he refused to let his hands be stained by the crimes of his representatives, explicitly targeting Donald Trump, whom he labeled a pedophile, a rapist, and a traitor. These specific accusations stem from Trump's documented historical proximity and social ties to Jeffrey Epstein throughout the 80s and 90s, a relationship that fueled Allen's obsession and, in his mind, justified a lethal response. But the document didn't read like a typical angry manifesto. Allen included a section titled Rules of Engagement, laying out his attack like a military operational blueprint. He strictly defined his non-targets: Capitol Police officers, the National Guard, the hotel staff, and the 2,600 civilian guests inside the ballroom were strictly off-limits. To minimize collateral damage, he even noted his decision to use buckshot instead of slugs. His primary targets were top-level administration officials. As for the Secret Service, his rules stated they were only to be engaged if absolutely necessary, and ideally they would be neutralized using non-lethal force. The manifesto details a surgically targeted political assassination rather than an intended mass casualty event. To get close enough to take the shot, he exploited a gap in the physical security. The ballroom itself was heavily guarded, but the outer lobby and the rest of the hotel remained entirely accessible to the public. Allen checked in early. Because his weapons were fully dismantled, he carried them past hotel staff in his luggage, using his private room as a staging ground to rebuild his arsenal just steps away from the target zone. Armed and ready, he breached the final metal detector perimeter. The quiet evening shattered as he opened fire toward the ballroom doors. The immediate physical toll was terrifying. A Secret Service agent took a direct hit, surviving only because the bullet struck his tactical vest. Inside the ballroom, absolute panic took over as hundreds of the nation's elite dove beneath banquet tables. Millions of dollars in advanced threat assessment and elite presidential security protocols were negated by a single man with a duffel bag. The survival of the highest officials in government came down to blind luck. When the dust settled, observers reviewing cell phone footage from inside the room spotted a glaring anomaly in the VIP evacuation. As the shots rang out, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance was aggressively grabbed and instantly extracted by Secret Service agents, but Donald Trump remained entirely visible on the stage for an additional 10 seconds before moving to safety. It was a significant deviation from standard protection protocols. When later asked why he lingered in the line of fire, Trump claimed he intentionally stayed behind because he wanted to see what was happening. That inexplicable delay, combined with the fact that the attacker practically walked up to the ballroom door, fueled intense online speculation. Former CIA officers publicly questioned the response, and thousands of voices began insisting the entire event was mismanaged or even staged. The political temperature hit a boiling point shortly after. During a 60 Minutes interview, CBS anchor Norah O'Donnell pressed Trump about the specific Epstein allegations, detailed in Allen's manifesto. Trump immediately lashed out, calling her a disgrace for reading the words of a sick man. A highly educated attacker, a glaring security failure, and an anomalous response leave behind a lingering symbol of a deeply fractured and paranoid political reality.